speak about human history. Human history is very important. By the human history, you will know when every time is come, so or what history will conclude in the future. At the same time, when heavenly time and heavenly chance is coming on earth, because of this human history very important. Like communism, by the communism, people excited. Communism, basic communist teaching, we possess everybody together like a government property, so no private. So we possess all by ourselves. Mm-hmm. Also we work together. Mm-hmm. And also we share together. How nice. Mm-hmm. That is why everybody excited, communism. Long time ago, when I was young, everybody excited by communism. Mm-hmm. If you are not excited communism, you are not a human. Even Christians, they really excited. But they skeptical because they don't believe the God, If the communism in God, then I think everybody excited. So communism excited, but one more thing they added with communism to excite. That is their human history. The capitalist, small members of the capitalist will be controlled by the majority of labor, or by the people. Therefore, capitalism society is a small member, but the majority of the labor of the people. That is why sooner or later, the capitalism will be perished, turn over, then become they of the majority of the labor of our peoples, come. Proved by the dialectics of the history of the materialism. So people excited. That's why same thing, the spiritual dialectics of the human history, sooner or later we restore the day of innate original consciousness, heart and rational mind. Then people will be excited. Therefore, what is the human lecture or the human history is a thing to give a really hope and excitement of the human life for the future. That is why this is very important. Same thing, I joined the Unification Church. One reason Unification Church teaching is very logical, also is faithful. So, furthermore, the human history, in near future, God's kingdom come. By the lecture of the human history, I was excited. Same thing, So, without lecture of the human history, you have no big hope for the future. That's why this is really necessary. Then, what is the human our human history? Usually people seek, records of human fighting, struggling, racial interest, ideological conflict, classes conflict, restoration of the freedom of the human rights, fighting, things like that. They give many reasons, but actually our human history has two views. One view means the history, records of the criminal and fighting and struggling. This is the human history. So when, where, who did it, and how did it, this record. This is a very negative point. But the positive point for the human history, religion-centered culture, civilization, development history. So why we have two different points, one negative point, one positive point? Because positive point comes from no matter what, God gave an innate, nature, or we have a conscience, love, and rationality. By that we have God-centered, development of the culture, civilization's history. But the negative field, because we are follow man, by that, unconsciously, we committed sin and crime and fighting things like this, So we have both sides. But no matter what, we have both sides. One different thing that, fallen nature, this is come afterwards, by this is accustomed nature, you can overcome sometimes by strong will. Can you understand? But God gave nature, God nature, originate nature. This is the eternal. This is never changed. Therefore, in our spoiled children, really spoiled. But that is the afterlife, that is why you can change spoiled nature. But original nature, this is goes forever, it cannot. Therefore, by the fallen nature, we have committing crime and fighting, struggling, thing, we have a negative. The other side, no matter what, people, how much you are fighting, even struggling, starting war, always you said, I am right, I am true. We are fighting for the righteousness' sake. We are fighting for the enemy is a bad guy, I'm a good guy. Why people say that, That is no matter what, innate nature always seek goodness, emphasize the goodness, to justify the goodness. Why God, Divine Spirit, always works through our innate nature of the conscience and the heart and the love. That is the reason. Therefore, human history, guided by God through our innate original nature. Therefore, whatever we commit to sin and crime, sometime we can restore it or enlighten. Then we can restore the heavenly kingdom. This is the human destiny. So, like a bird, you can fly freely, here, there, but sooner or later you have to come down to the branch, because you can escape from the gravity or the same thing like this. We, spoiled, we do this and that. That, no matter what, sooner or later you have to go back to the innate original nature. This is the human history. That's why God providence, God actually work. When we see this externally, God doesn't help anything. But God, Spirit, always working through with our conscience, innate original mind of the instinct. So instinctively, people cannot escape from goodness. That's why no matter what, they try to excuse their right, they are true, they are the God's side, Even today, all religion, always I'm God's side, I'm God's side, I'm God's side, Also, I'm right, I'm the enemy is wrong. Why they say that, Human spirit, always guided by God. Therefore, the innate spirit always point to the goodness. Therefore, when we see the human, history, 6,000 years of the human history, 6,000 years, they maybe 200 they perish, then 100 they perish, to 300 they perish. Then they never continued 6,000 years. But like a religion, who speak the God and they speak the truth. This is Hinduism, 4,000 years never they perish. Or Judaism, or Hinduism, this 4,000 years never, still today continued, I never perished. Also, Buddhism 2,500 years never perished. So Christianity 2,000 never perished. Muslim 1,000, why? As far as they speak about God and the truth, they never perished. Why? Our innate spirit always follow for the God and truth. That is the reason. But you are not speaking about truth. You are not speaking about God. You are only, you live secularly, then you can, how much you have a strong power to control the government, no matter advantage you have, you cannot continue it. Therefore, if you are really you're evil, you're collected, then not only you perish yourself, also heaven they perish you. Like Noah, Sodom, Gomorrah, judgment day is coming. Why? There is no everlasting for the evil power. But the good power, the good teaching, seems to be weak, seems to be not strong, but this is constantly growing and never perished. Even today they continue sitting main religious power without any perishing. By God sent the truth over the world forever. So usually human history is divided three human history. One historian said that human history is a greater salvation history. That is why Adam and Eve fall the Garden of Eden. Then after 6,000 years, new heaven and new earth come back. So religionists, theologian, their view of the history is the circle of the history which God guided salvation history. Then the other history, like a Greek age, yes, God created. So, but also people has a free will. Then half God guided at the same time, half human free will. Then they said that history of the half providence of the defeated the history like this. Then the other atheist, that 100% human free will, the free history. We have a free view. But anyway, human history is a free development under God's dispensation. No change of the goodwill after fall of man. So, no matter what the people, they want to live good. No matter what the fighting thing, I'm justice, I'm on God's side, I'm right, enemy is wrong. Always they say that, even though, no matter what the pointing, human, innate spirit, always toward the goodness. That's why God we are under the God dispensation to restoration of the goodness or the good kingdom. That is we. So purpose and spirit of the human history, re-establishment, history of the new heaven and the new earth by the restoration of the divinity, love and truth centering God from crime and struggling after fall of man. This is the human history. Then I made a picture here. First, all plant kingdom, then I told you before, the seed is inside, they have a plan or the project, they are programming it, automatically perfected themselves. Then after perfected, then a lot of seed in here, they multiplied, one seed become maybe 100 seeds, so multiplying. Then it automatically perfected, then multiplied, go back. Then it is growing again, it's repeating, increasing, multiplying, increasing, repeating. This is automatically. Yeah. So the animal, same thing. Man also perfected, man and the woman is automatically. So, So God, good life, centering conscience. So the man, God, man is conscience center. Emotional, rational existence. But by the fall of man, we lost conscience. Therefore, emotion or rational, everything, human instinct, everything become reversed unconsciously, become evil. So what is a human history? Human history is the one word, restoration of the divine conscience. This is the human history. So if we restore the conscience, then that means we restore the goodness. Then in this world, everything will become good. So one word, what is the human history? That the human history is a restoration of human conscience. At the same time, enlightenment of the human rationality.
Of human rationality.
Human rationality. By enlightenment of the human rationality, that is the scholar or the smart people, the philosopher, what they did, they enlightened, human rationality. By that, they wrote the philosophy or all kind of good teaching in here. So those religious men, holy men, what they did, those people, good men, they teach moral ethics, those restoration of the human conscience. So you don't have to worry about love. Love you don't need to teach. This is just spring out. Can I say that? Beauty and emotion is you don't have to say it. Anything you can choose, the beauty and love, emotion. This is just spring out. You don't need it teaching. Therefore, what is the human history? By the righteous man, by the good man, they restoration of the original human conscience. But the teacher, those wise men, those scholars, those philosophers, they enlightenment of the human wisdom, the knowledge. So they developed the civilization, the culture. So that's mainly they did two things. So restoration of the conscience and enlightenment of the human brain. This is the two things in the human history. So in the beginning, by the fall of man, begin with primitive human way of life. So primitive human way of life, human become very low standard of the conscience and rationality. That is why, like a kind of the dark age. But no matter what after fall of man, they lost the conscience and unlighted the rationality. But no matter what, original God gave seed of the conscience and the rational mind. They never changed. But by that, so after his education by the truth, enlightenment of the mind and the spirit, so very early age, early history, assimilation. You know what this means? Assimilation. No, this is not education. Assimilation. This is the instinct inner, enlightenment. So after fall of man, no matter what, still we have a seed of the conscience, seed of rational mind. Those assimilated, assimilation of the goodness, of the originality. So in the primitive age, we don't have any special teaching or anything, just by root of the originality. by that they started the human history. Then, no matter the people has human instinct, instinct that has nature, the mind, or enlightenment, awareness of the enlightenment. That by the instinct, instinctively you will know by yourself. Like a baby, you don't have to teach. Just by the instinctively they know how to move, how to survive. They grow. Things like this. So, in old age, by the instinctive mind, they grow by themselves. So instinct have two things I told you. One thing is self-awareness, self-understanding without teaching. Also instinctively, also the instinctive ability to act. Therefore, in ancient age, they instinctively they are aware, they understand, then gradually grow. So about 6,000 years ago, first time, by the God gave the instinct, root of the instinct. By that, gradually grows the human history, civilization. Then about ancient civilization started 6,000 years, 6,000, 5,000 years ago, Egyptian, also Mesopotamian, also Indus, also Yellow River. How developed? Because instinctively we have a awareness by self. Also we can develop by ourselves. That is why about 5,000 years ago, human history flows. At the same time, human instinctively aware. Then our first civilization started about 5,000 years ago, Egyptian and the Mesopotamian, Indus and Yellow River. Then from here, no more assimilation. From here, we enlightened ourselves. Then from here, education started. So education, then from here, they have a law, or national law, or education thing, we started. Then human history developed, flows at the same time developed. Then 2,500 years ago, 500 BC, then the west side is the Roman philosophy civilization, and the Greek civilization, and Crete civilization, and the Middle East, Assyrian civilization, Babylonian civilization, Persian civilization, Israel civilization. Then the East, Taoism and Confucianism, Buddhism, is by the truth. From here, no more by the truth, they really developed it, enlightened, here. That means the Eastern, Middle East, and the West, they, by the education, people are really humanistic, but at the same time also enlightened. By that, Jesus come about 2,000 years ago, based on the civilization of the West, the Middle East, and the East. This is by enlightenment and human development. Then Jesus come. Then he emphasized by rebirth. Then we establish the heavenly kingdom on earth and heaven. Therefore, Jesus' movement just moral, not ethical movement. philosophical movement. He is movement. He is the first one in the human history want to establish a heavenly kingdom on earth by the rebirth. So many people think, the others saying that those people are like a moralist or a philosopher or some good teaching, the religious. But Jesus is the one. He is really knows. He wants to restore the heavenly kingdom. That is why he said, heavenly kingdom come on earth and it is now. That is why first time in the human history, based on the preparation of the Roman civilization and the Greek civilization, great civilization, and the Middle East and the East civilization. But unfortunately, nobody really accepted Jesus. So Jesus, he couldn't accomplish it. He is the one that came on earth to establishment of the heavenly kingdom by new man's education, born again movement. Not just teaching, he movement actually, but he couldn't accomplish it. Then actually, Jesus, the rebirth of the heavenly kingdom, this movement did not succeeded to the Christian forward. Unfortunately, then the Apostle Paul did the teaching of the redemption. But Jesus, he left the spirit of the Christianity. It is Heavenly Father. First time he found Heavenly Father's, artistic God. So second thing is, he love your neighbor as yourself. That is teaching love. Other religion doesn't have such a strong, teaching of the love. Also, that means cosmopolitan love. He's not only teaching love, he really exercised love. Last minute he died on the cross. He didn't condemn any Jewish people or the other people. He said, Father, forgive them. They do not know what they do. He's the one really, loved the enemy. So he left one more thing. He's a public spirit. Do to others what you expect to do to you. That public spirit. What is the Christian spirit, the Jesus spirit, the basic spirit, that is three things. They discovered Heavenly Father, the artistic God of the Heavenly Father. Then they love your neighbor as yourself, and do to others what you expect to do to the public mind, the public spirit. This is the true Christianity. So today, Christianity brought a certain standard degree of the moral, ethical, good teaching based on that three things. Then Christianity is twisted from the original. That is why Muslim Muhammad come after BC. Yeah. Then also he speak the truth, and also by the good teachings. Then Christianity covered from Europe to the whole country. But Islam go to Arabic country to the whole world split, Then by the certain period, actually, Christianity has to have a really developed society and guide a good direction. Unfortunately, Christianity become blind face. Blind face emphasize our redemption, not really born again and heavenly kingdom movement. So Christianity, unfortunately, become very mysterious. Just believe it, Very mysterious Christianity, also irrational Christianity, reduction of the conscience and the human rationality, the human conscious thinking, rational thinking. This is human thinking, This is not God's thinking. Everything they, under the name of the God, they justified everything, and their conscientious rational thinking. This is human thinking. They really reject it. That is why they become blind-faced. Just believe the God like a child. Then, because of that teaching, Christianity become darker and darker. So the emphasis of the human as a sinner, then human is a sinner, so you can't do anything, They really degraded more than animal. So also at the same time, you give up this world, you just have a faith to go into the heavenly kingdom, the afterlife. Just you think the afterlife. This world is a satanic world, Then really Christianity deviated from original Jesus' teaching to some mysterious, some unhopeful, Christianity. Because of that, Christianity become corruption. So about medieval age, authoritarian Christianity, and power, hunger, and greed is the last Roman Catholic. So redemption by the indulgence, thing like this, then Christian become really corruption is coming. Then the spring more pressed down, your reaction is coming. By that, Renaissance is coming. By the Renaissance, God next providence will be prepared. Then Renaissance, by the Renaissance, the modern age is start. From Renaissance, humanism from the Godism. Before Godism, everything they emphasize, they under the name of God, everything they self-justified it, blindly self-justified it. But by the Renaissance, we are aware, what is the restoration of the human consciousness, the human rationality, which is living divinity. So mysterious, irrational Christianity, awareness of consciousness, rational mind, moral and knowledge. Also, denial of the humanity, acknowledge the humanity and the character education. Also, obedience to the priest and God, to the awareness of the individual human subjectivity and value. Also, essentialism, denial of the material, fulfillment of the desire in practical life. So also hope of the afterlife, the pursuit of the happiness in this world. So Christianity entirely changed after the Renaissance. Then they are aware from the blind face to become more the right value and the right purpose and by the observation. So restoration of the freedom and the human rights and the individual value and the human dignity by the Renaissance. There's also de-perfection of the human conscience and rationality and love. So from here, by Renaissance, we are aware of many things. We restored lost conscience and Russian enlightenment actually start from Renaissance here. So humanism, Godism in the practical sense is like humanism. So human is restoration of the humanity. So Ella Smith, the Machiavelli or the Pico, Albert, by those people, they really enlightened, human rational mind. And then, by the humanism, we can restore it by the human character, educate human character. Not only humanism of the idea must be applied to daily life. Then this, with a good character, then it comes to moralism. Not only humanism on the ideaism, it's moralism applied to daily life. So restoration of the ethical life. Montesquieu and Pascal and Kant. So universal truths of the human character, they emphasize this moral life, obedience of the pure conscience and the human rationality. Before the denial of human conscience and rationality. So God's divinity, the good spirit within the human conscience, God's ability, human rational mind. Then they deny the entire human conscience and rationality. That means God's divinity and God's ability. That's why Dark Age come, medieval Christianity. But from here, we can, enlighten the conscience. That is why we restore the divinity. Also, we enlighten the human rationality. That means restore the human God's ability. So from here, moralism is not only concept. So restoration of the ethical life, Montesquieu, Pascal, Kant, by those people, really here we enlighten human conscience and rationality and both. That is the obedience to the pure conscience and rationality. Kant he really emphasized. So then Kant also said that we established the ideal country by the international. Also, Kant he discovered international law. By today, the UN, most of those ideas coming actually from the Kant. So by those people, moral ethically we can really develop it. Also, we need religious reformation. That at the same time, religious reformation by Martin Luther. By that, more, ritual and also so ritual religion more become gospel religion by the Martin Luther, 1970. Then furthermore, enlightenment coming from the French, Bentham also Comte, positivism, so the Hegel, idealism, the Sartre, the existentialism, the James pragmatism. By those people, we really, restoring and developing human conscience and human rationality. And then the more you restore the human conscience and rationality, then behave, then it become beauty, then love will be restored automatically. Basically, you have to restore the truth. By you can restore the truth. Not only that, so the social science also at the same time developed. Social science hopes or locks, so they bring democracy. They bring the good system, ideal system of the country, the collective society. The political reformation, revolution, Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Republic Revolution is coming by those ideas. Then not only democracy, also coming socialism and communism is coming. Socialism with communism, actually nothing wrong, you know that? Unless you are not, if conscientious communism, conscientious socialism, anything wrong? Conscientious people mean never invade others, never dictatorship, But accomplishment of the human itself, what kind of idea you use, they always twist and misused. So basically socialism, they make a social welfare country. Nothing wrong. Communism is, also is a community life, nothing wrong. But the people is not perfected, not ideal, always misused. For instance, communism, we work together, we share together, we can put together, the good idea. But once they accomplish, they are not the good guy, they are not the really ideal guy, then communism, communists only they are rich, they live well, not everybody. They use that ideology, but only that the benefit for the communism, their group or their thing, not for everybody. So if you are really public man, public spirited man, you are a good man, then communism work, socialism work. But if you are not really perfect yourself, you are not conscious person, you use those ideology for yourself, for your group to benefit. That is why it doesn't work. So, so socialism and communism sound very good, but actually adopted by the good man, what kind of man will be leader to guide these things? Depends on the people. They will always change, misused, and twist. While this is very. But anyway, time comes. Not individual development, also social development, development on the social science by this, democracy or the communism or socialism, all kinds of ideology come and try to make ideal world. Also at the same time, natural science also developed too, time is coming. So natural science, physics, astronomy, so the geography and chemistry, biology, engineering, all fields is really developing. Then energy, water, steam and electric, natural power, then atomic power, energy. Anyway, spiritual field, scientific field, material field, everything is prepared. Then peace movement, we have to restore, peace on earth. Why? Peace, basically we need it before prosperity. How much you prosper the civilized country, you don't have a peace, then unstable. Therefore, basically we have to restore the peace. Therefore, peace movement come. Tolstoy and Gandhi and Einstein, lots of those famous people in the world, they unite together, they started the peace movement. But we have to pay the last indemnity, which is, the conflict, the fighting. That begin with ego, start individually fighting, then grouply fighting, then social fighting, national fighting, the war, but finally in the age of the world, then World War coming. Once or twice we have the World War, But First World War, Second World War, Third World War died. So anything under the God providence, those World War, the tragedy, we paid a lot of sacrifice. But by this, we can develop by United Nations, or after war over, we made the United Nations. By United Nations, all the world try to become one. Also, they helped each other. So war itself is a tragedy. But after war, we united together. We concerned about the peace and developing other country, helping other country. Then we really advanced society today after war. But here, I told you, we have a Third World War. Then this is, I told you, depends on. If we don't really depend ourselves, we don't really born again, we don't really educated, we go like this, sooner or later we have a Third World War by the atomic. By that that is the day of judgment of the fire that the Bible predicted. You can start only by us. We have to start heavenly kingdom by new movement. If we fail, we don't do it. Third World War is coming. You see now the whole world really shaking.
Yeah, you're right.
So Third World War only stopped by changing human, by spiritual movement, no any other way to do it. That only we can do it. Then why I told you possibility of the Third World War, atomic war. Everybody thinking today, no, that is impossible. Both no victor, both destroying. That is why.
Yeah.
But there is possibility of the two reasons. One reason, we are not perfect man. That's why always has a dangerous situation to make mistake. Because second reason, we are emotional. Then upset, blind come, then conscience, rational doesn't work. Emotional man. That's why we are emotional stronger than the conscience, rational. Also, we are imperfect man. Over there is a mistake. Therefore, we are the one we have to really start movement of the heavenly kingdom by the born again new man movement. Only stopped God judgment by the God people's reverse. By the reverse, we can establish heavenly kingdom movement. This is the only thing we can do it. That is why our movement has really we haste. We have to do quickly. We have to do it. But UN and the world federal government, the ideal preparation for today, the new age. But the other hand, God providence and by the human effort, politically democracy, freedom and human rights, equality and free election, by we can choose the best man, leader of the country. Also economy, today the overproduction. Today, you don't have to worry about it. Worry not to consumption. Production is no problem. Consumption is a problem. Such a rich country. Science, convenient and convenient all to production. So we are so robot make everything so that we don't have to pay we don't have to pay the effort. So everything, so science become the auto production, robot, electronics, computers, everything is also culture, cubic culture, high civilization and culture today. Also seen it here. Until today, everything controlled the past age by religious law, religious by teaching. But that is very blind bias. That's why they come. God stopped that religious bias, law of the teaching. Then today is natural law, the rational law, meaning human natural law. So today, public law is all rational law, and that liberated from the religion, separated from the religion. So everything judge good and bad, based on the rational reason, not the religious interpretation.